Welcome to another tutorial, guys. Now if you're using Linux, I stumbled upon this page right here which gives you Photoshop for Linux. If you don't know anything about Photoshop, you should know that it's superior to GIMP in most categories. This here is actually an official version of Photoshop that you can install on Linux, any Linux distribution that you're using. I just quickly want to show you guys this in case you want to do any form of image editing, because Photoshop does have some extra tools that GIMP does not have, and that's the reason why I started using GIMP, but I didn't finish. I didn't get far in it because I was too used to using Photoshop. So the process to do this is pretty simple. So I'm going to put this link in the description here where you can just click on it, and when you do that, you're going to click on this code right here and download the zip file. Now I already downloaded it, so let's see, where is it? Yes, I already downloaded it, so it's going to look like this right here, Photoshop main, and when I extract it, you're going to get this folder right here. When you open it up, it's going to have these files inside it. Now this is the only file that is important in this folder, and we're going to get to that shortly. Now on the GitHub website here, it's basically giving you a description of everything, but I'm just going to cut to the chase and show you exactly how this is done. So the first thing that you'll actually do is get a clone of the file. So you'll drop this into your terminal and hit enter, and it's telling me that it already exists. So you're going to copy all of this line and paste it into your terminal, and I'm just going to do that to show you how it looks. And this is what we have right here. So the first thing that you're going to do is hit number 2 and then hit enter, let it install. I think it's going to want to install Wine. So let me just make a short disclaimer here that if you don't already have a Wine installed, I would highly recommend that you install it first, because when I did this, I allowed the Photoshop to install Wine for me, and when I tried to launch it, it did not launch. So I managed to install Wine afterwards and restart the computer, and it did boot. So to avoid that, I would recommend that you install Wine first, and I'm going to leave a link in the description as to where you can install Wine based on your distro. And after that, then you basically can run this script. You hit number 2, let it install and go through. It's going to ask you where you want to save the file. So I chose the documents folder. This is it right here. So what you can do is you can create a folder inside wherever you would want it to be. I chose to put it in documents. You can put it wherever you'd want, but you can create a folder for it, and then you click up here. I'm not sure, it depends on the distro that you're using. I'm using KDE, but this would be easier for you if you could just get this basically, which is the path, and copy it and paste it over into the script, because it's going to ask you for a path. You can manually type in the path with home / your username / wherever you want it to be, whether it's documents, music, wherever. So you can choose where you want it to go and just hit enter, and that's going to come up within the installation, and it will install to that folder. After that, you would be able to browse to the folder and see Photoshop install all its files in there. It's going to ask you to go back to the main menu when the first installation is done, which is installing Photoshop. So you can do that and then hit 3 and hit enter, and it's going to ask you the same thing, where you want to store the files or where you want to save the files. So you can, I selected the same folder where I stored Photoshop. I think that's pretty normal for most programs, just to put everything in one place that's related to the same file. I pointed to the same folder and had the camera raw feature installed there as well. Now when this is actually completed, you will see Photoshop inside your app launcher. Now I am not sure if when you launch it, it will come up at first. I would recommend that you restart the computer. When I just opened it, it did take a bit of a time to come up. It did take some time to come up, but after I restarted the computer, it came up fine. Now it usually is going to look like this, and if you hit file you may not see these options. Well, for me at least, I did not see these options when I just installed it, and it's more than likely going to be in a different language. So I'm going to close it down here. I'm going to show you how you can get the language to English, because that would be the reason why we downloaded the zip file, this main file here, and you would extract it, and what you would do, you copy this entire folder into where you have Photoshop. You go into it, you go into PhotoshopCC, locales, and this is where you would put it. A folder here should be a Spanish version or something, so you can just delete that and slap this folder right in here, and that should get Photoshop actually showing English instead of Spanish. And when you hit file, what I actually did, because as I said you wouldn't get these options, so what I actually did was went online and downloaded a quick PSD file, download one from online and drag it into Photoshop. And for me it did take a little while to initialize all of this at first, but after the first time everything usually runs just fine afterwards. Alright, now it's initializing here and it will come up, and this is how I actually got it to come up at first. The option on the left here usually looks like this the first time that you install it, so you just hit layers and you'll see all your layers. And this thing right here about learn Photoshop, if you want to get rid of it, you just hit this and close tab, and this is what I would recommend that you use and edit your pictures or do your thumbnails. This is a really powerful program, and to me it's better than GIMP. It's a lot cleaner and easier to use. GIMP is a bit crowded, and although it can be customized, it's too unorganized out of the box. Photoshop is very more organized. This is basically it. You're good from here. Now let me see, because I did not actually get the camera raw feature when I installed it. I still did not see it here, so I'm not sure if it did not work. It's something else that I probably need to check, and I'll update it in the video description if I actually get that to work. But it's not mandatory. I mean, if you really want to use all the features of Photoshop, then I would recommend just getting your Windows partition, but it's not going to give you the exact same experience that you get with Photoshop on Windows, but most things work, as in based on what I've used so far, most things work. And I think that's what you really need. If you want to use Linux and you want to do some image editing as well, then just so you know, Photoshop is available. It's not as difficult to install. It's very easy to install. As you can see, the script makes it very easy. So I would recommend this if you're looking for something to edit images with, or to do your thumbnails, because this is a very powerful program and you can use it to do very simple things as well as very complex things. So that's going to be it for this short video. I just wanted to show you guys how you can get Photoshop for Linux. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Drop a like on the video, leave your comments and let me know if this was helpful to you, and I will see you guys in the next one.